What's the point of your existence?
To feel. Because you've never done it, you can never know it. But it's as vital as breath. And without it, without love, without anger, without sorrow, breath is just a clock ticking.
It's not about being happy. That's the thing. I'm just trying to get through each day. I can't keep asking myself, am I happy? Am I happy? It just makes me more miserable.
I always thought you were like Janet, but then you are with this fucking chicken. So, what's with that, huh?
Forget? After I've seen the outline of my brother's body on the floor, you expect me to forget? I want to kill those sons of bitches. I'm gonna blow their fucking heads off.
I don't like to smile unless I have a reason.
Is life always this hard? Just when you're a kid.
Welcome back to the Skewered Universe Podcast. My name is Jeff.
I'm Leiann.
And honestly, folks, I got no idea what we're doing. This is Leiann's month, as you know.
Yeah.
And
everyone else gets a birthday month. Why don't I?
Yeah, exactly. She is in charge of programming, so I have no idea what we're doing yet.
We're doing our usual, but you don't know the movie.
Exactly. So before we get into that, let's catch up, because the last time we talked to you guys was First Watch February, when we had Paul and Mary on for Perfect Blue.
That was so much fun.
That was really a lot of fun.
I like them a lot.
They're really good people. You hear that? You guys are really good people. I don't know if you listen, but if you do, we enjoyed having you on. We love you guys. There's the sappy bit. Anything interesting been going on with you since the last time we got behind these microphones and did the dirty talks?
What?
I don't know. Anything interesting going on? You been doing anything?
No, not really. I've been watching whatever you've been watching, and you've been watching a few things.
Well,
actually, no, that's not true, because I did make you watch something.
Yeah, let's
start with that.
Yeah, let's start with that, because it's pretty heavy.
Quiet on the Set.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this, or have seen
at least heard about it.
At least heard about it. Quiet on Set. The dark side of children's television. Oh boy, does it get dark.
Yeah.
Not only is it talking about how a sort of boys' club, toxic, misogynistic backstage atmosphere was cultivated by Dan Schneider, who created a ton of shows for Nickelodeon in the 90s and into the 2000s and 2010s. It also talks about
the other ones.
Yeah. Drake Bell's sexual molestation at the hands of... And I'm going to say this.
I'm going to say it's rape.
Yeah. I wanted to use the more appropriate term, but yeah, he was raped. It was in his sleep. He woke up to being assaulted.
Well, at that one particular time. That was the first time.
This happened.
He didn't describe the other times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't go into detail, but I will say this. The man who was guilty of it, Brian Peck. Brian Peck. I will say his name 3 times. Brian Peck. He is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He deserves a rotten, festering hell. He should have got more than, 16 months?
Mm.
And then was hired back onto a Disney Channel show with 2 more young boys as the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you in the horror community will know him as Scuzz from Return of the Living Dead. If you've watched More Brains, which is the documentary on Return of the Living Dead, you'll know he's all over that. So, fuck him, fuck everything he stands for, and as far as I'm concerned, there were a bunch of people, if you watch this, you'll find out, there are a bunch of people who wrote letters of support. For anyone who doesn't retract their letters at this point, there's a lot in there that I thought were probably actually decent people, because you never heard anything negative until now, so I'm wondering what the fuck they all smoked. Or what disinformation was handed to them at the hands of Brian Peck. I'll say his full name, Brian Richard Peck. Sorry, I really hate this motherfucker. Anyway, yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. Because you get an insight. Leiann, I'm sorry, I'm talking about all of this. I got really angry watching this.
Yeah, you did. Rightfully so.
I knew this guy had allegations, and when this documentary came out, I had heard people go, oh, it was Drake Bell that he did this to. And I was like, you took a minor I knew you had already assaulted somebody. I didn't realize it was a minor, and it was on multiple occasions. He got a slap on the fucking wrist because Hollywood saved his ass. He should not be working. He should be behind bars.
Yeah, and the thing is, what I love about social justice is Brian Peck at least got convicted.
Mm-hmm.
He's now on the registry. He had to serve time. All that other whatever. People like Dan Schneider, who walk that thin line enough to not go to jail, guys like him think that they can get away with whatever they want. When the reality is, people can make videos, they can make documentaries, and companies will pick it up.
Yeah.
And they will spread it around. Exactly. And they will get whatever sponsors, it'll spread like wildfire, and everyone will know what you did.
And I want to say, for anyone that grew up in that time, like, I remember watching all of that on Nickelodeon. The original first season of that. I remember watching that old show, seeing Keenan and Kel and all those kids, and then Amanda Bynes coming in. What happened with a lot of those child actors and what they were put through was unnecessary at the hands of Dan Schneider. Now, Drake Bell did say he does not hold Dan Schneider accountable for what happened to him at the hands of Brian Peck. He forgives him for everything that happened during, the time on the set when he was behind the show, as producer and all that. It didn't sound like a lot of the others could, because they called him out for having a god complex. He was having, costume designers give him massages on set. Female costume designers give him massages on set. Degrading female writers that he had on staff. This guy should never be allowed to write for any television ever again. Children or adult, I don't care. So yeah, as you can tell, guys, I was disgusted, infuriated, and
angry.
Just saddened, angry, depressed, and just like, how does anyone let that happen? Drake Bell's father called it out. The Brian Peck being way too close and too touchy, and he was getting all these flags and signals, and they basically ostracized him from the set, to the point of Brian Peck could then make his move to drive a wedge between Drake and his own father, to have him removed as his manager, and then all those protections were gone.
But don't ruin it for people that actually want to watch it.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry for anyone that wants to watch it. There's a lot more to it than what I'm saying. It goes deep. It's a series. There's, 5 episodes?
I don't remember. Something like that, yeah.
There's several episodes. Go watch it. Just...
trigger warnings for it.
Trigger warnings. Sorry that if I gave away too much. I'm just really angry that any of that could happen.
Yeah. Especially when Drake... Oh, no, I can't. I don't want to say what happens. The sad part with him and his dad.
Yeah, there are some really sad parts.
There's a sad part, and then there's a really sad part. And you're like, Oh, no, you and I both were in tears.
And I will say this. Plenty of people have said they struggle to empathize or sympathize for Drake Bell. And I get it with the things that he has done and his own legal things. However, what he did was not the same as what happened to him. They go over that. So make sure if you're watching this and you've already judged him, go in with an open mind and realize they're going to talk about everything. He doesn't go into detail about what happened, but it's a good, solid documentary. It will piss you off. It will make you angry. And you will cry. You will be sad. Unless you're a, cold fuck. If that's the case, stop listening to my show. Our show. This show. Any show. Just go away. Now we've got the heavy stuff out of the way. Is there anything else you want to add before?
The other thing you've been watching is...
I've been going back through Smallville. Hey,
good.
I'm enjoying it still.
I'm not ragging on you because I watched it too.
Oh, I know you weren't. I'm just saying, for people out there who are like, how could you go back and watch it? I think it still holds up. Yeah, the effects are kind of crazy and ridiculous, but...
No, for the time, it was fine.
Exactly.
It was
TV
good.
Budget.
It was good.
I happen to think Tom Welling is a really good version of Clark Kent. And I'll say Michael Rosenbaum is like the second best Lex Luthor behind Jane Hackman. If you don't like that, it's my opinion. I'm entitled to that. You can like whoever you like. I like who I like.
Yeah.
I've been having fun going back through it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
We just saw Claire get his heat vision.
Yeah. She was like, "You're burning up." And I'm like, "You have no idea."
Yeah. I do like that they tied it into there's a heat wave in Smallville and his burgeoning puberty attributes to heat vision comes into play. Like, all right, so all that every time he got hot and bothered, set things on fire.
Pretty funny.
It's pretty fun though. Can it be cheesy at times? Yeah. Can the dialogue get really dumb at times? Yeah, but it's a soap opera with superheroes, basically. It's like you said. What was the description you gave?
I don't remember.
It's Dawson's Creek with superheroes.
Oh yeah, there you go. See,
that was the perfect summary of that show. I didn't watch Dawson's Creek. I watched Smallville. They were on the same network, but I was a Smallville person. I still am, apparently. I don't think we've watched anything else except a lot of Beavis and Butthead if we don't know what else to put on.
Yeah.
And
Daria.
Watched a lot of Hoarders, too. We watched several episodes of Hoarders recently.
You're welcome.
It's another show that can just make you so angry. Like, these people are here to help you. Why are you being so stubborn?
What gets me is in the very beginning, they're doing their first interview, right? They're like, "Yeah, I guess some people consider me a hoarder. I consider myself a collector. And, I just want to change things. Oh, I know my life is going to change. And I'm going to turn everything around. I just want to get rid of all this stuff. It's been cluttering my life. It's cluttering my heart. I need, the county's coming after me. This stuff has to go or I'm going to be homeless, etc., etc., etc." And then half an episode in, they're fighting them 100%. Well, I can't get rid of this. I can't get rid of that. And this, even though it has mold on it, I can still glance at it and put it in my mouth and rub it all over my body. And it's like, oh my God.
The worst one I've seen was the guy who was also a therapist and his wife, and he was controlling.
Yeah.
Like, he and his brothers were very controlling of their wives, and he was like, no, you can't get rid of this. These are my projects.
Yeah.
Well, you can get rid of these over here, but these ones, and they're like, what are you going to do? It's rusted. He goes, well, I can clean it up and sell it. How much are you going to sell that for? I could probably get 500 to 1,000 out of that. He goes, there's no way. There's no way you're getting that much out of this. It's rusted and broken. Nobody's buying it. Somebody will buy it. You just leave that there. I'll take... He kept fighting them and just, like, trying to gaslight everyone. Nobody was having it, and his poor wife has to deal with this fucking old... And I'm going to say probably racist, and definitely a misogynistic piece of shit. Because none of the women in that family were allowed to speak up. And if they did, they were told to basically get in their place. And he was telling, what's her name? Dr. Zazio or whatever.
Yeah.
He was telling her, like, I don't like what you're doing to my wife right now. She was basically just asking her questions like, you should answer. You're a part of this. He's like, whoa. Don't ask her questions. You're doing something to her. It's like, she has the fucking question. She has a right to ask her a question. Your wife has a right to answer, despite what you may think. You fucking...
But then it puts me in the mood to watch cleaning videos on YouTube.
Ah, yes, you got me into watching those.
Ari Katarina.
She is so funny. She's so ecstatic over cleaning.
I'm the best cleaner in the world. Dee-dee-dee.
I mean, she goes in and she's like, look at all this. I'd be like, this is disgusting. And she's like,
look at all these trashes.
Like,
it's so beautiful.
This oven is so dirty. Isn't it fantastic? I'm like,
I love it.
And there are things that bother me about what she does, but I get it. She knows what she's doing. She's a professional. When she's not wearing gloves and picking up people's trash, I'm like, no.
People get on her about wearing a mask, too. She's very aware.
The mask thing, I'm like, if you're able to handle that and you know you're not going into a super toxic environment, I'm okay with it. You're a professional. The gloves, however, that, I'm like, I don't even cleaning up around the house. If I gotta go outside and grab garden tools, I'm wearing gardening gloves or some kind of gloves. I don't like touching nasty, filthy shit. Even trying to switch the battery out in the car. I was like, gloves. I don't want my hands all greasy. I've been that way since I was a kid. I don't like dirt. I like to get dirty, but I don't like dirt.
Anyway.
So that's what we've been up to.
What have you guys been up to? Let us know down in the comments below. I don't know why. I feel like I'm on YouTube.
Remember to like and subscribe.
Don't forget to smash that like button.
Oh, God. Smash that like button like I smashed your mom. Whoa, just a prank, bro. That's how I imagine some people are. That's not us. We don't want to smash your mom.
I do.
Well, I mean,
I tried to smash your mom. She was going for it for a while. and that's when I was using your phone, so it was under your name.
Yeah, that doesn't, anyway, what are we doing tonight? Like, this is your month, this is your programming, what are we doing?
We're telling your mom how sexy she is. So we're watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is called The Elephant Man.
Are you in any pain? Are your parents still alive?
Life is full of surprises.
I have never seen The Elephant Man.
And I figured you would appreciate this because it's 1980. Right? And let me see, what does the more say? A surgeon discovers a man with a disfiguring congenital disorder, earning a living as the Elephant Man while he works in a sideshow. He finds that below the monstrous facade lies an intelligent, sensitive character who soon becomes the toast of London. So it's got Anthony Hopkins and John Hurt, and it's directed by David Lynch.
Nice. That's enough. I have been meaning to see this for so long. Why I never pulled the trigger on it, I don't know.
Yeah. All the other ones, I had a list of options, but all of them were paid. We'd have to buy it or rent it, and I thought, I just don't feel like dealing with that. So I just picked this one because it was free, and I figured you would appreciate it.
Yeah.
We like a young Anthony Hopkins.
I'll take Anthony Hopkins any way I can get him.
No, that is not true. No.
Except for magic.
Thank you.
But that is young Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
So I can't take him. It's just I might not appreciate the movies.
There you go.
While he was decent, the movie magic, I don't really care for it. We kind of have to go with streaming options for right now anyway, because we're also getting ready for stuff to be done around the house.
Yeah.
If you saw my post earlier at the time we're recording this today, we're getting ready for home renovation stuff, so yeah, we're going to try and get you some content, but there may be another lapse, so forgive us. We still love you.
Well, I'd like to record again on Sunday night.
And we want you to listen. Listen closely. Yeah, we're going to get something else recorded, yes. So, The Elephant Man. We're going to get started? As you're giving me the side eye, like, what the hell's wrong with you?
A lot is wrong with you.
Yeah. I'm sure the listeners know now as well. So. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into it.
All right, we're doing this interstitial style.
Interstellar interstitials.
What are interstellar interstitials? This is a rather different movie review format where Jeff and Leiann will pick a movie that neither of them have seen or at least one of them has not seen. Then, they will watch the movie in real time, breaking every 15 minutes to give their thoughts on the movie to that point. At the conclusion of the film, they will give their final thoughts, recommendations, ratings, and discuss any interesting information about the movie in general. Now back to your regularly scheduled podcast already in progress.
We'll talk to you guys in just a bit.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
We are 15 minutes into The Elephant Man.
15 minutes!
They didn't really waste any time.
No, the first thing we see is, like, this video montage of an elephant stampede.
Yeah. The woman screaming as she's knocked down and...
We're like,
trampled,
what is happening?
Yeah,
so
for a
weird.
second, I was like, are they implying she was raped by elephants? I'm hoping that's not. Because that's a weird way, but David Lynch has made weird movies, so... But I don't think he would go that weird. Anyway, do you have notes?
Yeah. I didn't think I was going to take notes, but then I was like, maybe I should take notes. So right after that, he goes to, I guess it's circus. I don't know where else there would be a freak show.
A sideshow. Circus,
yeah.
Carnival type, yeah.
Carnival, yeah. And he's walking through and he's seeing all these different sideshows. And he sees these cops telling the owner, like, this is not okay.
Mm-hmm.
This thing cannot be living like this. This is not right. We're shutting you down.
Like it's hard on the people to see this kind of thing.
Yeah, one woman was walking away just kind of sobbing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we can see in his face that he's getting an idea.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to know what's causing the issue. What's such a big deal?
Yeah.
So then we see him working on somebody who got in a machine accident.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it was really bad.
Yeah. Victorian era, so machines are just starting to become used more in, I guess, production, maybe agriculture and business. Something.
Yeah.
And, oh boy, this guy got fucked up bad.
And it's funny because I think of, like, medical technology now and, like, medical procedures now, and I'm thinking, they're not wearing any gloves. They're not wearing any masks. They're just hanging out in some lobby with a table.
Mm-hmm. They've got aprons.
They've got aprons.
And a hot iron to cauterize the wound.
And there was this thing at the end of the bed that was, like, squirting from two different spots. It was like this guy was in charge of the water squirter.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. If it
was squirting water in the direction of the body.
Yeah, I don't
keeping
know.
It wet?
No idea. I might look up to see what the hell it is, but if we don't find any answers, if anyone out there has any idea what that was, please feel free to let us know.
Yeah, but then a kid walks in, because why not? And he's like, hey, I found the thing. And he's like, oh, okay, did you see it? And he's like, no. He goes, okay, yeah. I'll be right there.
I'll be right there. Let me finish doing my surgery thing on this guy.
I'm surprised one of them didn't have a cigar in his mouth, to be honest.
You know, Victorian era. Let's not put it past him to have done that at one point.
Yeah, so then once he's done, he leaves and he goes, I'm assuming, to where the carnival or circus, whatever, was set up.
Right.
And is now closed.
Mm-hmm.
And he walks up to the guy and he's like, hey, I want to see it. And the guy's like, yeah, well, it's closed. Sorry, buddy. And he goes, guess what? I paid a lot of money to be able to see it. And he goes, what are you talking about? He shows him money. He's like, okay, never mind. He lets him in, lights a kerosene lamp, leads him through this weird, ominous hallway.
Yeah.
Turns into bricks and it kind of like sinks down a little bit. So you wonder, are they underground? Like, where are they right now?
It almost seems like it's part of a dungeon or something. It's really this dank, like, cellar. It's like, really? This is where you're keeping this poor guy?
Yeah, and the guy, the owner, lights another kerosene lamp that is right next to, like, the curtain where the monstrosity is.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, life is full of surprises. Consider the fate of this poor creature. Struck down in the fourth wait, there was a part I didn't understand what he said, so it may not make sense, but he says, in the 4th month of her condition, by an elephant in an uncharted African isle. Ladies and gentlemen, Elephant Man. And then he opens the curtain, and it's this poor guy who... this poor guy. He looks like he's in so much pain. And it's funny because I was looking up the Wikipedia, and it says, industry experts were appalled that the film was not going to be honored for its makeup effects when the Academy Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announced its nominations at the time. Mm-hmm. Which, wow, because that's messed up, because we're looking at it, and we're like, wow.
I have seen clips and images of the face before. I had not seen full body shots. The fact that wasn't even considered for awards for makeup effects,
right?
Like,
appalling.
The disrespect
to
the people who put hours upon hours into creating that
dedicated their life. At that time, you pour your entire life into it.
What John Hurt went through to get that makeup applied, to be able to act through what they created, that's a slap in the face to the actor. It's a slap in the face to the artists. Because, I'm sorry, effects artists, it's in the name, they create art. They work hard to figure out. They do studying, they do research, and they put together. And from what we've just seen in the brief moments, I was like, holy shit. If I didn't know that was John Hurt, and I went into this completely blind, not knowing anything about who was in this movie, what it was, or anything, like early on, if I saw this in the theaters in 1980, I might have thought they just found someone with a condition to play this role. That's how clean it looks.
What else has he played in?
John Hurt?
Yeah.
You'll know him from Hellboy. It's Professor Broom, Hellboy's father, that was killed in the first movie.
Oh.
Cronin stabbed him with one of his blades.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
He was also, I can't remember the character's name, but he was the one in Alien, chest burst.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. That's what I thought, and I thought, no, I don't think so.
He's got a storied career. The man, I mean, throughout the ages up until his death, the guy just did prolific work. And I will say, Anthony Hopkins, rather handsome-looking gentleman with a beard.
Yeah.
He's got his top hat and beard, looks rather dashing. Rather debonair surgeon.
Yeah.
Walking through Victorian, I think it's London, I don't know.
Something.
Wherever they're at.
Probably.
Somewhere. Probably.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, this is... I like what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a whole lot. It's basically been the discovery of the Elephant Man and this surgeon's fascination with what it is, what could be causing people to leave this place so affected, and why they're shutting it down.
Yeah.
And where we paused is...
The look of shock on his face.
Shock, and there was a tear that rolled down his cheek.
Oh, I see, yeah.
I think it was a sympathetic tear, like, I can't believe what I'm saying, this poor person. It's like, yeah. And all the guys that was introduced goes, imagine what his poor mother went through. It's like, imagine what he's going through. Mm-hmm. What he's gone through his entire life, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the mom that had to deal with some shit. God, I mean, this poor guy.
Although, if she had to take an elephant dick, I mean, she went through a lot.
God.
She went through a lot.
Oh, tusk me.
No, ew. I want a divorce right now. I'm disgusted.
That's fine, it's warranted.
Alright, should we get back into it?
I think we shall. Alright, so we'll see you guys in just a moment.
Something different for a change? Then try the perfect refreshment. Chili Dilly. A delicious pickle treat that's spiced just right for every bite. Economical, too. There's no waste. You eat every bit of the juicy goodness of Chili Dilly. How about trying one right now? Chili Dilly. On sale at our concession stand. You'll love 'em.
Another 15 minutes in.
They're all dead. They all got raped by elephants. It was really sad. Bizarre, but sad.
Yeah.
30-minute movie, everyone gets raped to death by elephants.
All you heard was them going, Papa, no! And then a bunch of elephant noises as they all climaxed.
The end.
So that's it. Man, where did that...
Well, where we last left off, we were just seeing the Elephant Man.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor tells the owner, you know what? I want him. Bring him to me in the morning. I'll send a cab for him. And the owner starts thinking him really weird. He pulls him in close.
Yeah.
And it's just like, thank you. And just pulling him super close. And it's like, ew.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah. So then they arrive at the hospital. Well, Elephant Man and the cab driver. They arrive at the hospital. Elephant Man is wearing a cloth mask and like a black body wrap.
Yeah.
And he's using a cane to walk. There's a kid that's in like that front waiting area that's like, oh my god, he smells bad. And they're like, ugh. So the doctor takes him to the office. He tries asking him a whole bunch of questions, but the guy won't answer.
He's just wheezing.
Yeah, he's just wheezing. So another doctor stumbles in, as apparently everyone does in this movie, because that's just what happens. People just walk right in.
Yeah, this was a fellow surgeon of his who we saw in when they were...
Yeah, just walks right in. Doesn't knock.
Man.
Nothing. Just, yeah.
Just walks in. Oh, hey, what's going on? Oh, God, what is that thing in there?
Yeah. And he's like, look, I'll tell you later. Please keep it quiet. Don't tell anybody. When he goes back into the office, he sees that the Elephant Man is looking at this specimen type jar. And so he wants to go over there to see, like, you know, what is it that he's looking at, but he gets spooked.
Yeah.
Right? And the doctor's like, you know what? Forget the questions. I'm just going to examine you.
Right.
And then we go to him holding a meeting? Something like that of a lot of his peers, and he's doing this presentation. And he wheels out the Elephant Man, who's behind this white curtain. The silhouette was really cool.
Yeah.
And they open the curtain, and the other doctors just gasp.
They all look horrified and disgusted at what they're saying.
Yeah. And he just starts rattling off all of his ailments. There's this, and this, and this, and this, but his penis is fine, and then one of his arms is fine. Everything else is fucked. He's like, look at his crooked spine. Isn't that crazy? Well, then he and a fellow doctor watch Elephant Man get into a carriage to go home. And the doctor's like, yeah, I think he's just an imbecile, which is like a super scientific way of saying, like, I'm being sarcastic. Imbecile.
Yeah. He also called him an idiot and then says, well, I pray he's an idiot.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
So we see that he gets home, he makes it home safe. Unfortunately, being home doesn't mean he's safe, and his owner starts beating the shit out of him for literally breathing, existing, making noise.
Where have you been?
What have you been doing?
What have you been doing? It's like this guy's been drinking and obviously forgot that he was going to be out somewhere to be examined by a doctor.
Right, and then, so the little kid that's there, he's like, something's not right. He goes to the doctor. He says, doctor, he's breathing really weird. Please come.
Yeah.
And the doctor shows up, and he's like, what the hell happened? He looks like, what happened? Oh, he fell. He's so clumsy, he fell.
Yeah,
he falls a lot. Ew, no. And so, the doctor says he shouldn't be sitting like this. I'm taking him to the hospital. And the owner's like, look, I need this guy. He's my cash cow. He's my living. I need him for the money. And the doctor's like, bro, you're not going to get money if he's dead. I got to take him. Bye. And instead of letting the doctor go, he pulls him aside and pulls him real close and is like, look, if this is the thing you're into, I can get you more of these. I can get you more. I can get you whatever you want. Yeah,
I run in circles that deal in, things like this. It's like, ugh.
And he's not even saying it. He's just, ew. It's like, ugh.
Like, you sick fuck.
Yeah. And when they, so right now, the doctor was able to take him back to the hospital. Mm-hmm. And he brings him in real quietly through the back, up the stairs, make sure no one sees, except one of the other doctors sees. And the main doctor goes to get him some oatmeal, because he's got to eat, right? He goes, gets the oatmeal, comes back up, and that doctor who saw him bring in this freak sees him bringing in oatmeal, and he's pulling him aside. Hey, how's it going? What are you doing? What's going on? What? You're not eating this oatmeal, are you? And then he takes it, he's like replacing it with different food or something.
Yeah. Tells him, oh, you shouldn't be reduced to this. He goes, no, I find it quite nutritious. Because he's trying not to be like, oh, I just brought in a guy who probably can only eat this kind of stuff. Even though this, I believe he's called the House Governor. So I'm not sure what that term means, but I'm assuming it means he's in charge of everything.
Yeah.
The song was like, what's this? And then it was like, oh, I'm going to call him over. Right as he's about to go up and feed John Merrick, as we find out his name is. Yeah, this, that sideshow guy, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he is.
Beats him for no reason. No reason other than, you weren't here. You sent him off with the doctor. You got paid to send him off. Stop being a fucking dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I imagine that if it was him and his wife, that would be the same thing. Like, what happened to her? Oh, she fell. She's clumsy. She falls a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. So far, very interesting what's happening.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, it's holding my interest. It's deliberately paced, I feel. And I like that we haven't seen a whole lot of the Elephant Man character. We've seen him in shadow. We've seen glimpses here and there, but we haven't seen a full-on, in the light, reveal of everything.
Right.
And I do like there was the fade when Anthony Hopkins' character was like, let's take off your hat and let me examine you. And he goes to remove the hat, it just fades to black, and then we're at the medical conference where he's presenting the medical anomaly that is John Merrick to all these to his colleagues.
If we want to be super technical, it's Joseph Merrick, but they call him John in this movie.
Yeah, which I guess that's just to change it. I don't know.
know.
Who knows? So what do you say? Jump back in?
Yeah, let's get back into it.
What else were you going to say?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right. So we're going to watch the movie. You guys listen to an intermission.
Show starts in 4 minutes.
To visit our snack bar and treat yourself to some delicious Castleberry's pit-cooked barbecue sandwiches. Cook the Castleberry way, slowly over open pits of glowing charcoal, then seasoned with a sauce that's zesty, yet delightfully mild to please the entire family. Also at the snack bar, you'll find popcorn and soft drinks and candy and French fries to go with your Castleberry's barbecue sandwiches. There's plenty of time before the movie starts, so visit our snack bar right now for Castleberry's pit-cooked barbecue sandwiches.
Still plenty of time to come and be served at the refreshment center before showtime.
Oh boy, this movie keeps rolling right along.
As movies.
Yes, I know, as movies tend to do. We watched another 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting far more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing more of the character, and the Dr. Treves, Anthony Hopkins' character, seems to be the only person sympathetic to John Merrick.
Mm-hmm.
There's more to it than just a medical fascination, I think. Like, he actually feels for this man.
Yeah, of course.
So what have you got for us? You got any interesting notes?
Where we last left off, that one dude catches him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you're not going to eat this oatmeal. You're going to eat something else. And then he tells the nurse, go give this oatmeal to the patient in isolation. That wasn't a good idea.
No.
So then, while she's giving John the oatmeal, he asks the doctor why he's being so secretive. And the nurse knocks on the door and then opens it, or does she just open it?
She just went in.
She just went in, and she sees his body and screams at the top of her lungs and just starts sobbing.
Yeah, drops the bowl of oatmeal on the floor. Immediately, Dr. Treves leaves. He's like, excuse me, goes up there and he's like, I should have warned you. Please forgive me. Tell the head nurse to come up here and to knock on the door and wait for me to answer. And he goes in. Go ahead, I'm sorry, I don't mean to step on you.
And apologizes. He goes in and apologizes to him. Then it goes to shots of the hospital at night.
Mm-hmm.
Different shots. Children's beds. Nurses at night.
Yeah, the general ward.
Yeah, and then we see this guy kind of wandering around. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I'm assuming he's a security guard.
Like a caretaker, maybe, or something.
Whatever, but he's chain smoking, so yeah, we got our smoker in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And,
apparently wearing tap shoes as well.
Right? Tap shoes made out of fucking wood. I fucking hate this guy. And so he's wandering around. He starts wandering right to John's door, which is not easy.
Mm-mm.
You have to know where it is and who's there in order to be going that way.
You unlock a certain door.
Yeah. He sees him and says, so this is the Elephant Man. Here, have some alcohol. And John's like, And the guy, he sees that John is afraid of him, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna like you a lot. I like people that can keep quiet. I got a lot of friends that are gonna like you.
Yeah, it's so gross. It's so gross.
It is so fucking gross. And, of course, he gets traumatized. So we see a cat fight in the hospital lobby. Yeah. Two women are just going at it. Cat fight.
No idea what happened. We just know they are angry.
And everyone is involved. They're all trying to pull them apart.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if it's blood on their faces or mud or what. But there is something all over them.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was scratches from each other fighting or if it was leprosy or some kind of disease or what.
But during this chaos, guess who's able to sneak into the hospital? The owner.
Yeah, Mr. Bites.
Yeah, the head nurse and the main doctor are in John's room. And the head nurse is being a bitch. It's not that she's being a bitch, she's being callous. She doesn't see John as a human being with feelings.
No.
She says he can't be helped, that talking to him is pointless because it's like talking to a brick wall. And she leaves. The doctor starts talking to him and says, look, I need you to talk to me. I need you to communicate with me somehow about how you're feeling, what you're thinking. I need to know this. And so he gets him to say the word yes. And it's hard, but he does it. And then the doctor wants him to repeat, hello, my name is John Merrick. And he does. Then, once he's done in that room, the doctor leaves, and he and the owner run into each other in the stairwell. The owner wants him back. You've had plenty of time to cure him. Give him back.
Yeah, I've come for my man.
Yeah, and the doctor was like, you don't own him. I'm gonna call the fucking cops. You know? And then, the owner said, essentially, you're like me. You wanted a freak to show off to your doctor friends for, quote, science, and now I want him back. But then, dude shows up. Dude, what's his name?
Cargom, the house governor, like hospital administrator.
Sure, basically. Yeah. He randomly shows up and he's just like, yeah, by the way, the cops are going to want to hear our story, and you should probably leave.
Yeah.
And the dude leaves.
Yeah, because Bites said, I'll contact the authorities. It was like, oh, go ahead. They'll want to hear our side. It's like, dude, you've already had a run-in where they told you to shut it down.
Yeah, and of course, the dude is like, I want to meet this guy. And the doctor's like, yeah, in a couple of weeks. He goes, no, tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Yeah. Tomorrow afternoon at 2.
And that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he wanted more time to work with him and get to know John more. And he was like, oh, okay, tomorrow at 2, I have to show the House Governor, the Administrator, my new patient.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fun. This will be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well, because the Administrator was like, we don't accept incurables. He can't be here. This isn't the right place for him. And the doctor was like, just trust me. This is different.
Yeah.
You're going to want him here. So, of course, the administrator's like, I want to see this guy tomorrow, ASAP. Yeah.
It's just the fact that the nurse even says, she goes, the only thing he'll understand is a good smack. The doctor's like, whoa, you can't do that.
Mm-mm.
And she's like, well, maybe you have the patience to deal with this stuff.
I have a hospital to run.
Like, well, hold up, bitch.
Right? And the thing is, she wasn't one of the mean type of people. Like, she didn't say it mean. She didn't have a mean look on her face. Like, she didn't look like a monster. She just seemed like a nurse that ran a hospital, and she just happened to not think this guy was a human being that deserved to be treated as such.
She will run things her way.
Yes.
It's her way. That is it. She doesn't take any shit from anybody.
And this guy isn't helpable.
Yeah. She doesn't see him as a person. He's just the thing that's there, taking up space.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'll do what you need me to do, but I'm not going to treat him like a person because he's not. I have other more important things to tend to.
Mm-hmm.
Your patient here is nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, everyone just treats him like...
You have his owner that straight up, in your face, is mean to him, beats him, treats him like shit. And then you have the covert people who are nurses, who are meant to care for people. And even they see him as nothing.
Yeah. And then you've got the people like the night janitor or caretaker who want to exploit, try to make money off of it in the dead of night for whatever nefarious reasons he may have.
Gross.
It's just, like, my mind went to all sorts of things, like, what the
My
fuck?
mind goes sexual. It went sexual the first time when he was like, I can get you whatever you want. I was like, ew, that's
what
gross.
I was thinking, too. Yeah. It's like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, honestly, I feel like, I know this is Victorian-era London that we're dealing with. I don't feel like this would be too far off from something today. Like, you hear the horror stories of, like, elder care facilities, where these, nurses and stuff that are on staff are supposed to take care of these elderly patients that can't care for themselves. And you hear about them bringing people in for sexual favors and whatever else and beating the shit out of them and taking whatever money they have and use. It's disgusting.
Like that one woman that got pregnant in a coma. And it's like, what do you mean she's pregnant? What do you mean she's going to give birth? What?
Why did this happen?
How?
Why? Who? Like, the fact we're seeing this here, I'm like, okay, it's medically unknown. So I would understand people being a little more like, oh, what the hell? But I feel like that would still happen today, and it does happen with people who have things that's like, you can't do that. You can't just look at somebody and go, ew, you're gross because you have a deformity.
Yeah.
They just want to be treated like everyone else. I mean, it's... The fact that people get exploited because they have medical things where maybe they can't do their... Yeah, this is getting heavy. I'm sorry, but... Yeah, 2 nights in a row, things are just getting on my nerves.
You're very welcome. They were both my suggestions.
Yes. I enjoy when something riles up that passion within me. And this movie's doing that because I'm like, John Merrick is a person. Underneath the deformity and all of that, there's a beating heart. there's a brain, there are feelings, and you just treat this person as less than because they look different, and they maybe speak a little different,
and they smell different, and they dress different.
Like, what if this was your kid or your brother, a family member? Any, what would you do? Would you treat them the same way, or would you want people to treat them as a person? That's what I always look at it. Like, if this was a family member, would I want somebody to go being like, oh, they'll just smack them around, they'll understand that. It's like talking to a wall, they're an imbecile. No, I'd want them to treat them like a person and not look at them as a deformity, look at them as a person. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. Shall we continue on? Because just so you guys know, this is a 2-hour movie. So this
I didn't realize.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a slightly longer episode than we normally do, but it's worth it. I think it's worth it. So we're going to jump back in.
Yeah.
You guys, maybe go to the lobby, get some snacks.
It's intermission time. Time to pause and refresh at the snack bar. During this short break, you can treat your taste of good food and sparkling cold beverages, including delicious Coca-Cola. If you're hot dog hungry, we have them. Sizzling, juicy hot dogs served in warm, oven-fresh buns. Plus a complete menu of all your favorites. Visit the refreshment center now. Enjoy delicious food and ice-cold Coca-Cola.
Ooh, another 15 minutes in.
Ow! 15 minutes in!
And everybody's dead.
They're all dead. Because, now see, this time it was the Elephant Man. He raped everyone to death. And it was really sad.
Yeah, he mutated into a giant horny elephant.
I think we're going to lose listeners. They're going to take us seriously.
We might. That is not what happened.
Stuff happens. So, okay, well, where we were at the last time, the administrator wanted to meet him.
Yes.
So the next day, John is with the doctor and he's reciting the Bible.
Right.
In preparation for meeting the administrator. Essentially, the doctor is teaching him what to say to make himself seem presentable.
Prepping for the interview to make sure things go smoothly with Cargon.
Yeah, and the administrator comes in. Good conversation for the most part, until the administrator starts asking a few too many questions and realizes that the majority of what John is saying is everyone has been very kind.
Right. He's parroting.
Yeah, and so the administrator was like, okay, well, I gotta go. And he tells the doctor, like, this isn't gonna work. He's gotta go. He's not meant to be here. This is not the place for him. Well, when they left the room, John immediately started reciting the Bible without even reading it. He's reciting it and saying it, all this stuff.
Loudly and clearly.
Yeah, and as the administrator starts to walk away, the doctor can hear that he's reciting stuff that he didn't teach him. He said, hey, administrator, wait, come back, listen to this. I didn't teach him how to do this. And so they go back in the room, and John is, finishing up what he's reciting. And the doctor said, I didn't teach you the rest. How did you know? He said, I read the Bible daily. I have favorite parts. My favorite part is the Psalm, blah, 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 blah.
The 23rd Psalm.
Yeah. And, the admin clearly changes his mind. He's like, hey, doctor, I need to tell you something important.
Yeah, see you when you're done?
John, I hope to see you again.
Yeah. Complete turnaround.
And when the doctor asks him, like, why didn't you tell me that you could talk? And he was just like, I was too scared to say anything.
It's really kind of heartbreaking. He's like, I was too frightened to talk. You're like,
oh. But then it kind of flips to a play, and it goes behind the scenes. You see an actress reading a newspaper article about the Elephant Man.
Right.
And she's like, I gotta meet him.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes to a bar. And guess who the fuck walks in? The hospital creep.
Yeah.
And he starts reading this article to everybody.
Only reads to a certain point.
And we can also see that the boy hears. The boy that he used to live with hears.
Yeah.
He's there and he heard. And this guy wants to sell tickets. He's like, in a little bit, he's going to be coming to a place where I can have plenty of access to him. Yeah. Everything's going to line up. I want that cash money.
Yep.
So then he decides that he's going to have a little drinky poo, find a little lady, and take her to go see John.
Yep.
And she screams bloody murder.
He forcibly turns her head to view John.
Mm-hmm.
She screams, which freaks out John.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy just laughs.
Yeah.
Evil fuck.
Yep. But then it switches to a different scene, and the head nurse is preparing the two nurses, saying, straighten your collar, make sure there are no mirrors, etc., etc., be on your best behavior, whatever. Mm-hmm. And she leaves, and I didn't notice which one said he's so ugly.
Yeah, I didn't catch which one either.
I didn't either. I think it doesn't matter.
No, they're both on the same page.
And as soon as he walks in, he's wearing this little suit, and he looks so dapper and handsome. Mm-hmm. And she is so fake nice to him. I give her credit. She's cool, calm, collected, and believable, but she's lying to him by saying, "Oh, your suit looks really good on you." Mm-hmm. And they walk out. She's like, "If there's nothing else you need us for, we're just gonna go ahead and go." And they bolt. And he's feeling himself. He sits down, and you can see him, like, his body language is, he's feeling confident.
He's like, I have a nice suit on. I feel good. They told me I look nice in my suit. He's, like, sitting back in the chair, a little confident. It's like, oh,
and like, she was lying.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. Mm-hmm. That one stupid little lie from a hateful little bitch made him feel good.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
It's like, I like that he was feeling good, but at what cost? The cost of her lying because she can't just see him as a person. He's so ugly.
Mm-hmm.
No, you know what? You're ugly, bitch.
I have to deal with him, so you have to help me deal with him. Like, what the fuck? Anyway. So, I guess they're at the doctor's house?
Yes, he takes him over there for tea.
Yes, takes him there for tea. So, he introduces his wife to John. The wife is clearly shocked, but still very polite.
Keeps her composure.
Yeah, very calm. Says, very nice to meet you, all that stuff. And he starts crying. And they're like, what's wrong? And he's like, I've never had... I'm gonna cry.
I've never been treated so well by a beautiful woman. It's really heartbreaking in that moment because it's like he's going, you're seeing me as a person and I've never had that, especially from a woman. And it's so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, my eyes were welling up at that scene. I'm like, oh, thanks. Last night I was crying at, depressing shit. I'm crying today. It's not depressing. It's heartbreaking, but at the same time, you're like, you feel good in a way, but it's still sad that he's just now getting to be seen as a person by somebody and treated like a normal human being.
Yeah.
It's...
but
yeah.
Then he says, let me show you the rest of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're having tea.
They're sitting down having tea. That's where we paused it. The three of them are in, I guess this would be called the parlor.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll say that. And they're sitting around a small table enjoying tea.
Yeah. The end. Everybody lives happily ever after, and no one is mean to him ever again.
I will say, my expectations of this movie were... I didn't know anything about this going in.
Same.
I knew it was about John Merrick, who had deformities from birth. That's all I knew. I didn't know anything else. So this is surprising at how almost perfect this movie is with everything it's doing so far.
Yeah.
It is hitting emotional beats. It is This is not a horror film.
No.
I will say the horrors come from how he's treated from certain people.
It's the people that are horrible.
The monster isn't the man with the deformities.
Mm-mm.
It's the ones who walk around next to us every day.
And tell us we look good in our suit.
Mm-hmm. So we all try not to, and this is going to get really heavy here for a second, but we all try not to judge everyone as we look at them every day. But yet there are people who will do that no matter what. So just, if any of you listening out there, take this and just think about this for a moment. Put yourself in the shoes of somebody who has a deformity or something that is visible to everyone every day. If people constantly pointed that out to you, or treated you different, or looked at you as less than a human being, how would you feel? And think about that the next time you see someone and your inclination is to maybe stare at them, or to ask them, oh, what happened to you? Just think about that. Put yourself in their shoes for a second.
Or whisper to the person next to you, wow, they have a really big nose.
Yeah.
That person has a heart and you just stepped on it.
Exactly. So I know that's a little heavy for this movie, but
no, I think it's perfect.
There's a lot for this, and it says a lot about how humanity can be so fucked up that it takes a person who has a medical condition and looks different and has had a hard life just trying to live like this and is seen as less than. And then the one time somebody shows them compassion and treats them like a person, they break down crying because they've never been seen that way. So just think about that. Think about a family member of yours that might have that, or yourself. Anyway. Whew, very thought-provoking. I don't think we've been this serious about a movie since Candyman 21.
True.
And I like that because it promotes conversation.
Yeah.
And as far as this goes, I want you guys to get hold of us about this movie. Watch this and then tell us what you think. And maybe take this as a way to sort of change maybe your perspective on people, because I know damn well I'm doing that.
One of the things I hate the most is judging people on how they look, because when it comes down to it, that's the one thing they don't have control over.
Yeah.
They can't choose how big their nose is, or if they have a crooked spine, or if their eyes are weird. You know, they can't control that. If they wear Crocs, that's different. Make fun of them, point and laugh. That was a choice they made. But just because of how they were born physically, I think that's wrong. Or like, oh, they're so fat, or oh, they're so skinny, or oh, why do they have a hump, or why do they have warts, or why do they have acne? They can't help it.
Yeah.
They can't help it.
Exactly.
Who are you to judge?
Exactly.
It's disgusting. And whenever I hear any of my friends make any type of derogatory comments about how someone looks, I absolutely judge them for it. I don't say anything, but my heart hurts, and it takes note of that comment.
And I'll admit, in my younger days, I've been guilty of doing that. Not out loud, but in my head, and it's not right. So I'm trying to grow and be better as a person and not do that.
Yeah, that's all you can do, right?
Exactly. And fuck, John Hurt was a hell of an actor, because this performance, holy fuck.
It's intense.
Yeah. This is an emotional film.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited to see how it's going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I read the wiki a little bit, so I have an idea, but from the wiki, it seems like he never got a legit diagnosis. At one point, it was between Proteus syndrome and neurofibromatosis. Okay. They said it could have been a combination of those, but all of the stuff, all the research, the genealogy and the testing and all that stuff, nothing ever was able to be a diagnosis. So even after his death, it was still a mystery.
So really no definitive answer.
No.
Just, it could be a number of things attributing to what happened to you.
Yeah.
While you were in the womb.
Elephants. Which is you know, for the whole movie being as serious as it is, My brain keeps going back to the very beginning where it seems like maybe elephants raped her.
I'm wondering if that was a deliberate choice by Lynch. So, I mean, it
had to have been.
This is the same guy who made Eraserhead.
He's very deliberate.
Is the same guy who did Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
So choices are deliberate. So I'm assuming he goes, hey, we'll throw this in. People are going to be like, huh? And then when we get to the very serious, emotional movie, they're going to be like, oh.
But then there's still that. But
wait.
He could have made it seem like she was getting trampled, but he didn't make it seem that way. He made it a mystery. Like, oh, elephants are coming. Oh, she fell down.
So it's almost like, did they take something where she didn't get trampled, but was almost? And this condition was something that just happened because of genetic mutations and anomalies that can happen during birth that we now know about in 2024? Or was it something else? It's a mystery as to what happened.
I mean, I really doubt that a man got elephantitis because his mom was trampled by elephants. I don't think that's how it works.
No, I don't think. But you see what I'm saying.
Yes.
If we look at this with Victorian era, medical
back in
technology,
the day when they didn't even know what zebras were, right?
Was this something that happened while the mother was carrying? And they're like, nope, there was some kind of trauma that happened to her on this uncharted African isle. In the maternal month of this something happened and it caused this. It's like, okay.
Sure.
Why not? Let's say that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's get back to it.
All right. We'll be right back.
It's intermission, it's intermission. It's intermission, it's intermission. Ice cream, candy, lemonade too. And there's a hot dog waiting for you.
The popcorn's popping and it's ready to go. You know all the great food is stealing the show.
Get up out your seat and get yourself a tasty treat down at the snack bar. Snack bar.
Pardon me, boy.
Yeah, baby.
Will you take me to the snack bar?
You know what I like. Everything's ready when the first meal's over. Nothing like a pizza with a ice cold cola. Get up out your seat and get yourself a tasty treat down at the snack bar. Snack bar. It's intermission, it's intermission. It's intermission, it's intermission. It's intermission, it's intermission. It's intermission, it's intermission. Get up out your seat and get yourself a tasty treat down at the snack bar. Snack bar. It's intermission.
15 more minutes down. Things are moving right along, as they do.
Yeah.
When you watch a movie. Now, we've had some more developments.
Yeah.
Since the last time. Care to enlighten everyone with your wonderful notes?
No.
Okay.
Just kidding. The last we left off, the doctor shows them the rest of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we come back and they're having tea.
Right.
The tea that he came for, right? And he compliments all the pictures that are on their mantle.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, wow, I love the way you arranged the mantle. It's wonderful. Is everyone's mantle like that? He's like, yeah, I think so. I think so. And they show, they take them all down and they show him, this is my father, this is my mother, these are our kids, whatever.
Yeah, show him the pictures.
And he goes, do you want to see my mother? And he pulls out the picture and he starts talking about her and how he wishes he could find her and how he must be such a disappointment to her. And he says he wishes that she could see him now because he has friends and he's tried so hard to be good. And then the wife starts crying.
Yeah, she
can't take it anymore. She just gotta start crying.
She tells him, no, a son as loving as you could never be a disappointment. It's like, oh. This gentle soul. Oh.
And he winds up consoling her.
Mm-hmm.
And then back at his room in the hospital, a nurse comes into his room and she sees that he's building something. Mm-hmm. And she realizes it's a building. And she's like, oh, it's that building across the way. You got the arches and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. She compliments it. It's like, okay, she's coming around. She's coming around. Then, at some point, he and the doctor are talking, and he tells the doctor, I wish I could sleep like normal people, like everyone else.
Yeah.
And then he asks the question, can you cure me?
Yeah.
And the doctor says, no, we can treat you, but we can't cure you. Bummer. Sorry.
And he goes, that's what I thought.
Well, eventually, he gets a visitor. The doctor says, hey, I want you to meet the actress, Mrs. Campbell. She brings him a whole bunch of stuff. She's like, hi, I brought you stuff. I hope that's okay. I hope it's not too forward. So anyway, and he's like, oh, okay.
She's like, here's a picture of me. I don't give just everyone my picture.
And he is just, wow.
He's so thrown back.
I'm going to put this right next to the picture of my mother.
In a place of honor.
Place of honor.
It's like, oh.
Anyone who's nice to him, he's like, wow, you are absolutely amazing. Oh my God.
It's nice to see him light up, but it's still so sad because you're like, what are the intentions of this person being so nice?
Right.
And I'm like, what is her ultimate goal? I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I'm like, she's nice to him, she's smiling. What is there an ulterior motive?
Yeah. Well, she also sees the building that he's making. It turns out it's a cathedral.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, wait, so you work at the theater, right? Are you there all the time? She's like, oh no, I just work there. And he's like, well, it must be amazing to just work there. Like, I've never been to a theater before. She's like, oh my God, you gotta go. You'd have so much fun. She's like, oh, by the way, I brought you something else. And she brings out this book. It is Romeo and Juliet. And I'm like, somebody had to introduce romance to him, and I wish they wouldn't have. I wish she wouldn't have done that, because it's going to get him wishing, and it's going to get that fire ignited in him that won't be fulfilled, because no one's going to want to be with someone deformed.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that in movie terms.
Right.
I wish she wouldn't have done that. So anyway, he starts reading some, and she's standing there watching him read this. And he'll read a spot, and then she'll read, or she'll recite from her memory, and then he reads a part, and then she recites the rest, and they kind of go back and forth. And it's like, oh, they've got this back and forth. It's romantic. It's Romeo and Juliet. They're talking about a kiss. And he goes, oh, and then it says they kiss. And then he kind of puts it down, and she gets closer to him, and she kisses his cheek. She says, you aren't the Elephant Man. You're Romeo.
Did you catch what happened there after she said that?
No.
Single tear came out of his eye.
His
eyes welled up, and there's just one tear, and I'm like...
Makes me fucking sick. Makes me sick.
It's like, oh...
Because I just know she has nefarious reasons for doing that, whether it's manipulative or something.
It's how I feel too, and I'm like, please.
His hopes are getting up.
Please don't let that be what happens.
Ugh. Well, the nurses are standing around, and they're reading out this article aloud about how this actress visited him and gave him a picture of her and all this cool stuff, and is he going to be welcomed into society, and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, well, wherever these people go, more people are going to follow. And sure the hell enough, he gets another visit from a couple, kind of an older couple, very rich. I think they give him a new cane.
A new walking
Beautiful
stick.
cane. And he's offering them tea. And they're shaking the saucer because they're nervous. And they're not so nervous that they're scared or running away, but they're clearly nervous.
They're uncomfortable.
And he is just chatting up a storm. He's saying a lot of people are nervous because of this. And and he is getting very comfortable with speaking and being social and talking to people. But you can tell they're uncomfortable a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, the head nurse is not pleased with what's going on and makes it very aware to the doctor. She says, "Doctor, why are you having these people visit him when they're just going to stare at him like everyone else used to do?" And he's like, "You know what? You're probably the last person that should be saying anything because you were just as rude." And she's like, "I was only this way because I'm a nurse and I see things a certain way. I'm practical, I'm blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I do my hardest and I think it should be fair and blah, blah, blah. People should be treated blah, 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 blah."
Yeah, she goes, "I bathed him. I fed him. I cared for him. I looked after him. If that means this and this, then I've done more than anyone else has."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh." She was like, "I've actually helped him. These people aren't."
Yeah, and then because she was telling him, like, stop doing this. And he's like, "Look, you don't have a say in what's going on. I do. John does. Not you, us. So shut your fucking trap and leave it the fuck alone." Oy, 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 oy.
The way I saw that confrontation was her going, "Hey, you took him away from a sideshow where he was stared at, and you're basically putting him into high society version of another freak show." And he's like, "No, I know what's best for him." She's like, "But do you? Or are you exploiting him for your own gain of getting this person into society so you can be recognized as the person who brought the Elephant Man into the light of day?" That's what I took. She's like, "Hey, you need to stop exploiting this guy. I may have judged him in the beginning, but I've been here to do what you haven't, which is clean him, feed him, get him dressed, make sure he's taken care of. And you're exploiting him now." And he's like, "Well, I'm the doctor, so fuck you, nurse." I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, she's making a valid point.
Yep.
Because you are setting him up for things that he's not going to be accepted at some point. These people are there because they know it's a hospital, we'll be fine. We're nervous, but we're okay. In society, they're going to be treating him very different.
Yeah.
And
then we saw a little glimpse of fucking hospital creep.
Knocks on his window, and then John just goes, "Nighttime." With terror in his voice. You're like...
During the day, everything is normal. He gets treated like a human being, but as soon as nighttime hits, here comes the fucking creep to be a fucking asshole.
Yeah. And of course, he's probably too afraid to say anything, because who knows what's going to happen.
Yep.
This is such a good movie, but it's... it makes you feel a lot of things.
Yeah. Anger and sadness for me.
Yeah, same. Exactly the same. So, shall we jump in? Jump back in?
Let's jump back in.
All right. We'll be back.
Your battery and your disposition. When it rains, you can still enjoy the movie with a Drizzle Guard rain visor. Simply press suction cups to the windshield as shown in the detail on your instruction sheet. Drizzle Guards are on sale now at the concession stand.
Refresh yourself. It's intermission time. The concession stand is open and ready to serve you.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Whoa, what happened?
This movie has taken a pretty dark turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
It's really uncomfortable. It's super uncomfortable.
Yeah. I do not. Let's catch him up, shall we?
Last we left off, the nurse was giving him shit. Like, you're exploiting him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I do what I want, bitch." Right? Whatever. Then we see he's back in his room, right? And the creep brings in a couple of other creeps. And this time they've got a mirror. And they're putting it right in his face, and they start kicking the shit out of him. And you start seeing the clips of the elephants again, and his mom getting trampled. So you can tell that happens when a traumatic experience is happening to him.
Mm-hmm.
Then it switches to the doctor's house. His wife goes downstairs and sees him sitting in the room. Just sitting.
Staring off.
Yeah. And he says, I'm just like the owner. And the wife is like, you should be proud. You've been helping him. You've helped to teach him. You've brought him so far. You should be proud of yourself. And he's like, am I a good man or am I a bad man?
Yeah.
And then we go to the doctor and the admin about to have a meeting with the board of douche buckets.
Yeah, all the chairmen of the hospital.
Yeah. Well, the gentlemen hate John. He's a circus animal. They want him removed. Get him the fuck out of here.
Called him a creature.
A creature. All the meanwhile, John is in his room messing with his little building that he's creating, and he's telling himself, I need to be more careful. You know? And it's like, yeah, that's the circus animal.
Yeah.
You fucking asshole. Well, the admin was like, oh, by the way, guys, because there was a head douche bucket, right? At the end of the other end of the table. And you could tell that he was speaking for everybody. He's like, we don't like him. We don't want him here. You are not going to change our mind. And yes, we all feel that way. Well, the admin was like, oh, by the way, can you bring in the Princess of Wales? Thanks. Yeah. And she walks in and all the guys are like, and she, they kiss her hand and she sits at the head of a table. She says, I wanted to thank you for everything that you've been doing for John. We have really taken a liking to him, both me and the Queen, and we hope you'll do the Christian thing and continue to take care of him. Right, guys?
After reading a letter from the Queen saying your hospitality and generosity and caring for this son of London who has known nothing and giving him a home. And she's like, so you'll do the right thing, the Christian thing, right? And they're all just like,
oh, God damn it. And the admin was like,
piss off the fucking Queen.
Yeah, the admin guy was like, okay, so he's going to be a permanent resident here, assuming that we have all the funds and whatever.
Yeah.
That comes up that we can take care of. If we can afford it, he's going to be here. Does anybody, who's in favor? And yeah, Mr. Douchebag's hand went up. Mm-hmm.
Everyone else's hands went up pretty quick, and then he was hesitant and then put it up. Because Cargom goes, hey, so we're all going to vote yes to keep him here, provided that we receive the sum of money for the cost of that room that he's going to be using.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we're all in agreement. They're all like, yep. And he's just like,
fine.
Yeah, fine.
Well, the doctor and the admin guy get to go give John the good news.
Along with the head nurse.
Yeah, they happily tell him, this is your home. You are now a permanent resident. We welcome you with open arms. And he was so thankful. Thank you so much. My home.
I have a home.
And they were like, and we also got you a little something. And it was a dressing case, a fancy one. Oh, and it's like a shaving kit, and you get the thing and the stuff and the...
It's got little colognes and...
Yeah, and he
was over the moon.
He used it happily and with pride. You could tell he took he treasures everything so much. He's so appreciative of these little things that might not mean much to someone else, but to him, it's treasure because it means someone was kind to him. Someone liked him enough to give him something.
they saw him as a person and didn't think of him as any different than they were.
Yeah, and
I want to say his entire room at this point is filled with pictures he's received, books, and it's just this nice, quaint little home he's made for himself, and now it's permanent. They give him the dressing case, like, yeah, this means.
And now he's so excited because his life is turning around. He's got all these friends. The doctors have accepted him. He thinks the committee was all for him. And he said to thank them for their hospitality. Thank you so much. And of course, that was a lie because they did not want him there.
Yeah.
And he's super stoked. You can tell he's like, man, I get to live a good life now. Unfortunately, there are still assholes in this movie. Mm-hmm. One of them is the hospital creep. So we see the hospital creep at the pub. He's selling more tickets. Mm-hmm. And this time, the owner wants a ticket.
Mr. Bites.
And as everyone's walking to the hospital, you see just how big this crowd is.
It's
15
like
people?
15 people at least.
Yeah. And while these people are about to interrupt him, he is enjoying his kit. He's putting on his cologne. He pulled out the photo of the actress and he's, talking to it. You can tell he's just having a good time. He's enjoying his evening. And then all of a sudden in walks the hospital creep. He takes him to the window, and you see all these people at the fucking window. And they're not just staring and gawking. There's this one man at the very front with an arm on each woman, or a woman under each arm, and he's slobbering on their faces and sucking their faces and
forcing them to look. They are obviously
uncomfortable.
Horror. The men are drunk and laughing at him, and Mr. Bites is right there pushing his way up to see.
Yeah.
Maybe the girls would like a closer look.
And then he brings everybody in, and dude with two chicks is like forcing them to look. And he says, you should kiss him, you should kiss him. And he forces the chick to kiss him, and a dude behind John is forcing him to kiss the chick. And insert abusive behavior. Because they start pouring booze all over him. They try and pour it in his mouth and he spits it out. They start abusing the fuck out of him. And guess who walks in? The owner.
Mm-hmm. They push him they push him over onto his bed. They throw these other two women on top of him and are like pushing them in a manner to simulate they were grinding on him. They're pushing him around this room from one drunken asshole to the next.
Yep. He was just having a good time.
He was just having, like you said, he was having a good time. He was there in like his robe with his walking sticks like, oh, my name is John. I'm very, very pleased to meet you. Oh, you do look very beautiful. And then here comes the creep.
Yep. Insert the abuse.
This is like, he walked in and he was like, oh, I forgot it's nighttime. I was having such a good time. I felt so good that nothing could happen. And now this.
Yeah. I can tell you're very upset by it.
I am. I really am, because I'm like, I imagine this still happening today to somebody. I was pissed off last night watching Quiet on Set. I'm pissed off now. This is a movie.
But it's a real man.
And it was a real person. And by all means, I'm sitting here thinking this actually happened. People had the gall and the audacity to treat this man like a fucking animal. And in 2024, society's not much better.
No, it isn't.
So if you watch this movie, don't watch it thinking, oh, it's going to be funny because there's the guy with deformities. If you laugh at this movie,
you're one of them.
I might lose listeners, but you're a fucking monster.
Yeah.
You're the horrific creature. Look at yourself in the mirror if you're laughing at people like this and tell me what you see, because I can tell you, it's a hideous fucking monster. Yeah, this... I need to see how this ends. We have, like... I don't know, I think we got, like, 40 minutes or something left.
Oh, man.
Something like that, 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, this movie makes you think. It, like I said last time we broke, it's like Candyman 2021. That movie made you think about certain things, racism and gentrification and all that. This movie holds a mirror up to you. The Elephant Man makes you think like, wait, am I a good man or am I a good woman? Am I a good person? I feel like a lot of us are Dr. Treves, Anthony Hopkins' character. Are we good? Or are we just maybe exploiting someone just for notoriety to get our name somewhere?
Mm-hmm.
So, bravo, David fucking Lynch, for making me putting the mirror up to me and making me realize that maybe I'm not as good as I thought I am.
Ebert didn't like it. He said he didn't understand the social point that Lynch was trying to make.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that's what it said.
You know what? This is going to be really fucked up. That's why you only had like a third of a face left before you died.
Because he's an awful human being.
Yeah, that's karma. You didn't understand. What? Hello, did you watch the same fucking movie? You know what? Let's get back into it, because I could sit here and piss on the grave of Ebert all night. I don't like critics who sit there and go, I didn't understand. You're supposed to be a movie critic. You're supposed to be an educated person. You didn't get it? Yeah. I'm 44 years old. I would have got this if I saw this at 13.
Right.
You fucking idiot. Anyway. Quarter face having pricks. I know. I shouldn't judge people by that, but I feel it was karmic retribution for him just being an asshole at times. I know. This movie shouldn't have me judging how people look. I'm sorry.
But that's how we learn. We learn to be good people.
Yeah. Shall we get back to it? And then I can see how much more horrible I can be afterward. All right. Enjoy this intermission. We'll be back.
It's intermission time. Time for refreshment. During the next 10 minutes, you're invited to visit the refreshment stand, where you'll be greeted with fast, friendly service. You'll find hot dogs, juicy hamburgers, and mouth-watering delicious pizza. There are refreshing hot and cold beverages, ice-cold cola, and orange drink. Goes great with an order of crispy French fries. Then there's a wide selection of your favorite candies and other delicious snacks. And there's always a fresh batch of hot buttered popcorn to go with the rest of the show. So visit the refreshment stand now during this 10-minute intermission and add to your enjoyment of the movie. We're happy to have you with us tonight and hope you'll come back often.
So another 15 minutes in, like we do.
Yeah.
Still
not good.
Very difficult to watch what was happening. Yeah, I was upset last time. I'm not any less upset.
Well,
so
we'll get there.
Yeah.
Last we left off, they were abusing him in his room, pouring booze on him, forcing the women on him, etc., etc. Well, as they're abusing him, they're telling him to keep it quiet. Well, he's being abused. Like, what do you mean keep it quiet? Like, you guys are being fucking loud as fuck. Well, anyway, there's a young man that's outside that happens to see everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And eventually, the creep ushers everybody out. He goes up to John, sits him up a little bit. He takes the photo of the actress, puts it in his pocket, puts it in his waistband, and gives John some change. Tells him to buy some sweets.
Yeah. I looked at that whole sequence when that came about. It's really no different than if somebody had brought in a bunch of assholes to have their way with
a woman.
A woman, a man, a child, whatever, and then just toss it some money like, here. Or a rag like, clean yourself up, whore.
Well, this was actually a little bit worse for me because he's not telling him, here's your half of the money. He's saying, get yourself some sweets. Like, here, treat yourself. You've earned it. You know what I mean?
It's disgusting behavior.
It's so gross. Well, the owner walks in as, the creep walks out.
He was hiding in another room, in like the bathroom area.
Yeah, and all he says is, my treasure. And then it fades out, and we're like, oh no.
He slammed his cane down on the floor, and you just see the fear in John's face again. He goes right back to that poor... defenseless person he was.
Victimized, traumatized. Well, in the morning we see that the cathedral is destroyed. The room is a mess. The doctor walks in, sees that John is not there. He sees the state of the room, and he gets livid. Well, the young man that saw everything said, hey, Doc, I know what happened. And so we see the head nurse walk into John's room, see the state of the room, and she gets pissed. Well, then we see the creep doing his job, feeding fire. Who knows what he's doing? Something with fire.
The boiler, I think, or something for heat throughout the place.
Yeah, the doctor's like, where's John? And the creep lies. And the doctor's pissed. And the guy was like, we were just having a laugh. We didn't hurt him. And the doctor starts throwing him around, calling him a bastard. He's like, you're so fired. And he was like, only the head nurse can fire me. And in walks the head nurse and just bonks him right on the fucking head.
Yeah. But it's funny because Dr. Treves got pissed, was like, bites. Where is he? He goes, I don't know any bites. We were just having a laugh with him.
The owner, yeah.
Yeah. And Treves throws him across the room after he slammed him up against the wall and goes, you're the monster. You're the freak. And I'm like, yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Then we go to see the circus sideshow that apparently moved to France.
In France, yeah.
And of course it's raining, which is not good for John, who has chronic bronchitis.
Yep.
And guess who's using John's new walking stick?
Bites.
Yep.
It so pissed me off because he's like, I'm going to take this and use it against you.
And John's not even wearing shoes. He took his shoes from him.
Pieces of cloth wrapped over his feet.
He took his shoes away from him.
Took not only his shoes, he took the clothes he had. He's there in just some shitty, worn out trousers and then just pieces of cloth wrapped around his feet. No shirt, nothing. Once again, treated no better than a fucking animal.
And he eventually falls off the stool, and he's not breathing very well. Well, a little while later, we see the owner getting drunk off his fucking ass, and he is pissed. He's doing this just to spite me, and it's gotta stop. I'm not gonna bury that bag of flesh.
Ugh.
Bag of flesh. And then he pulls him out of the travel wagon and puts him in a cage with very scared primates.
Yeah.
And the boy pleads for him to stop. Well, eventually, the owner goes back into the wagon thing or whatever.
I'm sure he passes out from being so fucking drunk.
Yeah. And the boy collects all the stuff that the owner was tossing out. And the others that are working for this guy go up to John and they're like, you know what? We're going to get you the hell out of here. And that's exactly what they do. They get him out of the cage. They give him some fucking clothes to cover himself. And they lead him the fuck out of there. And now they have put him on a fucking ship. They said, good luck, my friend. We need all the luck we can get, and we're giving our luck to you.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It was really touching because they're like, look, we get it. We're treated no different. But obviously you had a chance at getting out of here, and he brought you back. We've decided we're going to get you out of here. It's like, we don't care if he comes out here. Fuck him.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that dwarf who was leading everyone is Kenny Baker. Kenny Baker is famous for playing R2-D2, being inside of the R2-D2 costume for the Star Wars films. So I was looking at him going, I know that face. Yeah, I've seen him in other things, but yeah.
Very good. It's a very good cast.
Yeah, this whole thing is, to go back to what you read to me before we started watching the movie again after what Ebert had said, and I don't get how he didn't understand.
Well, there was a lot of movies that he was not impressed with, and we're like, what is wrong with you?
I think at a certain point, critics get so far up their own ass that they think everything has to be watched with a critical eye, and not watched as, okay, what if I was just somebody who went to the theater to see this movie? How is this going to make me feel, instead of, how does this break down in a critic's mindset?
Mm-hmm.
Turn that shit off.
Yeah.
Right? We are not critics here. We watch movies because we enjoy movies. And then we talk about them in a way because we want to talk about how we're feeling, how we're interpreting that movie. This movie has a very simple message. Don't be a fucking asshole to people who, just because they're different.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter their height, their weight, race, creed, religion, whatever it is. Stop treating people differently based on stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody has a deformity. Don't stare at them and don't treat them less than.
Mm-hmm.
They have feelings. They're a human being just like you.
Mm-hmm.
Put yourself in their shoes for a minute, like I said before. What John Merrick is going through in this film, and I'm going to assume that some of this probably even happened. There were probably accounts of this kind of stuff. Maybe embellished a bit for the movie, but it's
for sure,
still,
yeah.
To know somebody was treated like nothing more than a sideshow attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, you know what, you have this unfortunate deformity that happened. We don't know. We should put you with people who can care for you and give you the proper care and help you feel like a person and not something to be stared and gawked at so somebody can profit off of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't get him saying I didn't understand the message of the film. It's very clear.
Mm-hmm.
It's very clear. And if Lynch says that the message was different, then it's open to interpretation to each person who watches this. I feel it's very much him holding a mirror up to society. Much like I found out that hospital creep is the night porter. Very much how he's holding up a mirror to John to freak him out. Lynch is holding up a mirror to us going, but who's really the monster here?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly like how Treves called him out and said, you're the monster. You're the freak. It's like, yeah. It's exactly it.
And he even said he was proud. He said he was happy about
what I did. I'm not scared of you. I'm proud. You're proud of exploiting someone for your financial gain. All for what? A few coins in your pocket more than what you make. I just realized I'm not chuckling because of the movie. I'm chuckling because Leiann realized she had milk here from earlier when the movie first started, and she forgot about it. So it's been sitting here for a while.
The thing is, I'm notorious for pouring a big cup of milk and then forgetting it exists.
I didn't mean to call you out, but I chuckled and I felt it was only appropriate for me to state why I'm laughing when just a second later I was having this heartfelt moment talking about this film. And then I chuckle and be like, wait, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, so when we were setting up, I thought, man, because we ate some takeout earlier, and I was able to have some churros, and I was like, nom 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 nom. And I'm like, you know what? I really want some milk. So
milk and churros go well together.
So I brought in a big cup of milk, took a big swig, and then literally put it behind me.
So that's why I chuckled, because she looked back and the look on her face was just, oh.
Oh, I forgot about my milk.
Okay, we couldn't have planned that any better right there.
It's so sad.
We needed this, because this movie was very heavy. We needed something to break up
the depressing story.
The very emotional, heart-wrenching story of John Merrick. So we've got like maybe 20 minutes left. Finish it off. We'll come back.
Yeah.
Final thoughts and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Oh, the time is now, the time is here. Now's the time for a bite of cheer. A tasty light where the price is right. Well, look at here, you'll dig this sight. The moment's handy for a piece of candy. Just name your brand, they're all so grand. Hey, what do you think of a nice cool drink? Or a big box filled with a popcorn thrill? Let your taste buds meet with an ice cream treat. Refresh yourselves, it's time to eat. So come on, folks, let's join the band as we all head for the refreshment stand.
Just like that.
Everyone is dead.
Not everyone, but...
John is.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the Wikipedia article that I read said that he died in his sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And that they think that he just wanted to sleep like a normal person.
Yeah.
And when I saw him removing the pillows, I thought, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. We finished off by seeing him depart the boat. And he's trying to get through, it looked like a train station.
Yeah, but of course a kid sees him.
Kid starts bugging him. Some other kids. He knocks a little girl down. People start freaking out. They rip the sack off of his head and they start chasing him.
It was like
look at the freak show.
Yeah, it was like an angry mob.
And this is where we get the iconic line, "No, I'm not an animal. I'm a human being. I'm a man."
Mm-hmm.
And they're all just looking at him like, well, what do you mean? And then the cops show up, take him back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having a hard time talking about because this last part is really like...
Well, he meets with the doctor, and the doctor gets him ready. He's getting him ready, right? Mm-hmm. He's got this wonderful suit on, and he asks how he looks. He says, "You look great. You're going to fit in with everybody there. It's going to be great." And he said, "I'm sorry about everything that happened. I didn't know." And he says that he's always happy. And he says, "My life is full."
It's
because I know I am loved.
Yeah. The doctor goes, "I'm sorry, I had no idea." He goes, "Don't ever blame yourself." It's like, it's not your fault. It's like, throughout everything that happened, he could have been bitter and angry. And he wasn't. He just wanted it. Yeah. He just wanted to be loved. And in the end...
He felt the love of his friends.
Even the nurses came around, because one was getting ready and was like, "It was very nice of Mrs. Kendall to lend me this dress."
I think it was the one that said he was so ugly.
Yeah. She goes, "Do you think she knows that..." She's with concern in her voice. "Do you think she knows John is dying?"
Mm-hmm.
And the head nurse is like, "Yeah, she knows."
But because he's getting ready... and she's getting ready, it's something that they're both going to be attending. And she's no longer afraid of him. She's no longer scared or awkward or shocked. She's no longer sees him as this gross thing. She sees him as a person.
He's just John.
John.
He's John.
And it turns out they were going to the theater to see his good friend, the actress.
Yeah. And... I'm assuming this was the surreal sequence that Ebert was referring to. And I look at it this way. We're not meant to be seeing the performance of a regular theater show as if we were sitting there. We're meant to see it through John's eyes. Mm-hmm. John is seeing this fantastical, otherworldly thing that he has never seen before.
He's seeing cats, swans, birds, a fairy... He's seeing all these...
in a dungeon.
Yeah.
It's meant to see it through his he has this childlike wonder and appreciation of something he's never been able to see before.
And the actress actually commends him, and at the end of the play, she says basically, the reason everyone's here and the reason I'm doing this is for my friend John, and how he's such a wonderful person. And everyone gives him like a standing ovation.
They start applauding him, and Dr. Treves is like, stand up. They want to see you stand up. And he stands up, and they all give him a standing ovation. And you can see in his face, he's just
overwhelmed with pride.
In this moment, nobody sees him as the Elephant Man.
They
like
see him as John, seeing the theater for the first time.
I'm getting choked up talking about this. It's hard because you get invested in this person throughout this movie. And, yeah, I'm crying on the podcast. I don't give a fuck.
I'm crying too. I don't care. They can suck my balls. I don't give a shit.
That whole thing to finally see him be accepted after being beaten, being abused,
humiliated,
children asking him why your head's so big when he's coming back,
dehumanized,
to finally see him accepted and commended and seen, my dear friend John, someone who knows the theater and loves the theater despite this being his first time ever being here. He's sitting next to the Princess of Wales.
Yeah.
And she hands him the opera glasses like, here, you should look through these so you can see everything. And he's just like, wow. So, again, I'm going to say maybe Ebert's not as smart as he thinks he was.
Yeah.
Because I took it as, we're seeing this through John's eyes. It's a childlike wonder and amazement of seeing something he's only ever dreamed of seeing.
Yeah.
And then he goes back. They're back in the room. Treves is telling him, asking him, did you have a good time? He goes, it was fantastic. I never thought the ogre was going to leave the dungeon. It was like a little kid coming back from a movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to equate it to modern times, and
he looks at the picture.
What's sad is he's like, I want to do that again. And Treves is like, yeah, I think we will. Because Treves knows John is dying. He's like, he doesn't have much longer. I don't know. So you can see this whole time, Treves is like kind of tortured. Like, we're giving him this, but I know we're not going to be able to do it again.
Yeah.
This is his one moment to feel normal right now. And then he looks at the picture on the wall, like you said.
And then he slowly takes off the pillows.
And lays down to try and sleep like a normal person. And then he just stops breathing.
Yep. And his mom shows up.
Yeah.
Some stars show up, and we see his mom, and I wish I would have wrote down the poem she said, because it was really nice.
She said something to the effect of, nothing ever dies.
Yeah.
It's almost like, you're gone from there, but you're not really gone.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just, like, it's sad, but at the same time, it's like, if he decided that his life had, that everything, that he had friends, he was loved, and that's all he wanted, and that was where it ended, then he got to go out on his terms, and It's a sad yet beautiful ending to this film.
Yeah.
Because he finally got to know love and acceptance and peace.
Yeah. You're welcome.
No, I'm glad you had me watch this, because I've been needing to watch this for a long time, and I need to find a physical copy of this and own it.
For sure, definitely.
I mean, the cast is amazing. The story is fantastic. It's heart-wrenching. It has moments where you kind of chuckle because he's just like a kid experiencing things for the first time. But then those moments are kind of brought down to reality when you see the horrors of fucking disgusting people.
Yeah.
So watch this and realize there is a message to it. Maybe we all just need to be better. Maybe we all need to sit down in a room and ask ourselves, are we good? So I can tell you, I know I'm not as good as I could have been. And I know some of you out there are the same. And let's strive to be more like John Merrick. And less like the fucking assholes that exploit people. Let's just try to see all the good that's out there. Huh?
I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah. So we're gonna end this quick. I was gonna go over trivia about this, but
it's too sad.
Yeah. The only thing that, well, there are two things. One is I didn't realize Mel Brooks was an executive producer on this film, but kept his name off of it. He was responsible for hiring writer-director David Lynch and obtaining permission to film in black and white. Deliberately left his name off the credits as he knew that people would get the wrong idea about the movie if they saw his name on the movie, given his fame as a satirist.
I would have felt that way.
Yeah. I said it a bit like, really? Mel Brooks? What?
Right.
And then you see this, you're like, oh, wait.
Mm-hmm.
That tells you Mel Brooks is more than just a funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he's doing. And there was something else here. So Paramount Picture studio executives were shown a cut of this movie. They wanted the opening and closing surrealist sequences to be cut. This is when Mel Brooks stepped up and said, according to another producer, Stuart Kornfeld, he said to them, "We are involved in a business venture. We screened the film for you to bring you up to date as to the status of that venue. Do not misconstrue this as our soliciting the input of raging primitives."
Bing, boom, bam.
And I'm like, yeah.
Good on you.
Good on you, Mel Brooks. And apparently Lynch was working as a roofer when he was contacted to direct this film. So those are the few things I found interesting. There's more, but yeah, this... I never thought I would watch something and be so touched and affected for the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, we've watched things together.
Yeah.
There's been emotional hits.
Yeah. Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. Hell, I bawled like a baby the first time I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
If you don't bawl like a baby, then you're not human.
If you don't cry when you see what happens to Yondu and then his funeral in that... I still get choked up now. I've seen the movie 12 times.
Of course. Yeah.
There's plenty of movies where I do that. I just never thought it would happen on the podcast, and you know what? I'm not ashamed of it.
No, why would you be?
Some people would be like, oh, I don't care. This movie affected me, and I'm sharing that with you guys.
Yeah.
So head over to skeweredhead.com. You can find all of our social media links there. Link to the Patreon where you guys can support the show and get extra stuff we do over there.
Podbean, Spotify, Apple, whatever. Yeah. All of that stuff. You know where to find us.
You can catch me every Saturday live on Tales from the Podcast. We're currently going through all seasons of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
All of them? That's a lot.
That's a lot. It's about 2 years slated for podcasts on this. So that's what we have going on. I say if you haven't seen The Elephant Man, you need to sit down and watch it.
For sure.
Shut your phone off, give it your full undivided attention, and take its message to heart, because it's there.
How many angry monkeys do we give it? 5 out of 5 angry monkeys?
Yeah. Let's say that.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic film.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. There are movies that are entertaining, and there are movies that are just flat out good. And this is a really good film. It is not entertaining. It is not meant to entertain you. It is meant to pull you in to this world and make you feel. And Lynch did a hell of a job, so...
Thank you, Lynch.
Watch it. And that said...
That's one of my birthday month picks.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Good pick. Thank you. Be more like John Merrick and keep enjoying the universe that's just a bit skewered.